You guys like my singing? Okay. Hi, I'm Tiffany. Welcome to my quilting life. Today's Sunday, so Sunday where we make headbands today. Headbands, you hear me? I don't even know what I'm doing, but I'm learning, and you're going to learn with me. Yay! Anyway, that's what we're going to do today, headbands. And I will tell you how to do it, how I have been doing things, because, well, I don't have a pattern for this stuff, and if you do, then go for it, because I don't. I'm just learning. All right, let's see who's here. We got Dawn, Gloria, Shirley, Tracy, Susan, Nancy, Polly, Maribel, Kay, Faye, Jackie, Pat, Rose, Marlene, Jim, the Siberian Wind, Lori, Judy, Lorraine, Kitty, Christine, Jacqueline. Hello, hello, everybody. And if I missed you, welcome to the live. All right, so as you can tell, I have a beautiful, lovely headband on, and I made another one, and then I made a different style, and then I made a reversible one, you know, because I'm learning, but this one came out child head size. Because this was my first attempt. I was like, oh, I want a reversible one that could be any color I want it to be, but no, it's too small for my lovely head. And then I made this one because I wanted bandana style, you know. I thought that that would be cool, and it sticks out on the back, you know, like a bandana does. It's really cool. But they don't have to be this wide. This is where you'll have lots of options to be your own headband creator, however you want to make them. These are the kind that you find at a store, you know, you find like a package of 5 of them, and they're stretchy all on their own, one solid piece stretchy thing. That's what I have on my head. I can't get these to be perfect because I can't iron this fabric. This one on my head is like a silky stretchy. Don't ask me what kind of fabric it is. And this one is like a flannelly blend of something stretchy. I don't even know what this fabric is, but it was cool, and I had it in my stash, and I don't even know. I was like, oh, hey, this would make perfect for headbands. So obviously I'm making headbands. I am also using not only my Juki, but I am using my Brother Lock 1034D serger thingamabobber. Say hi, Thumper. Say hi. Say, I bit my mommy today on her finger when she was not looking and made her bleed. Huh. You made me bleed today. He was playing. He was playing. He likes to do that pawing like a boxer kitty with me, but I turned my head for a second, not even paying attention to him, you know, to whatever, and he bit me. He's like, Mom, stop. I want to play. So he wanted me to play. So I continued playing and doing the claw thing because he likes to box at me. He's a weird cat. He only does it for me. He doesn't do that for Scott. All right. So
he bites on purpose.
Yeah, with Scott, he'll bite him on purpose. He'll just like go up to his arm and bite him. All right, so I'm going to use the serger for the stretchy fabric, but I'm also using the Juki to close my stretchy fabric. So when it comes time to sew said fabric, I'll have Scott bring it over to the serger so you can see what I'm doing, because I kind of am not doing full seams. I'm doing mostly seams, partial seams. Whatever, I'm just doing it. So we're going to be doing some giveaways while we're here too. I didn't even bring the other computer in here to do it, so you're going to have to do it from yours. Oh, for later, obviously. And I'm giving away headbands. I'm making headbands to give them away. All right. The first thing you need is a measuring thingamabobber, you know, because I know what it's called. You know what it's called. But you need to take this darn thing and put it around your head and see how big your human head is. Like this. Down at the bottom, up at the top, because your headband goes to the bottom of your head, obviously. And then you measure it to the top, like this. And you go, that's where it's landing, right here. My head is 21.5 inches. Oh, I got a big head, people. I know I'm silly, right? So I have a 21.5 inch head. So write it down on a piece of paper, 21.5 inch head. Got it? Okay. So then after you measure your head, you're going to find yourself some fabric, some stretchy fabric. This is to do the one that I'm currently wearing on my head. I have this fabric. It not only stretches this way, but it also stretches this way. So I'm pretty sure this is that stuff they make stretch pants out of, because, you know, stretch pants stretch in multiple ways to fit everything in it. So I got myself a nice big long strip that I cut off. And I know, since this stretches quite a bit, I want a 17.5 inch, because 18, 19, 21.5, that's 3 inches there. I have so much stretch in this that I need to be 3 inches shorter than my human head skull. Scott put a link in for the serger, by the way, for anybody that wants to get one. So I'm going to cut a piece that is 17.5 inches, because that's my head. So you need to find out how stretchy your fabric is. If it's super duper stretchy, you definitely want to take 3 inches off. If it's barely stretchy, I would say 2 inches. But you can make a couple until you have them that fit your head properly, you know, because you can always keep taking a seam in over and over until you get that right size. This is not like rocket science here. This is actually pretty easy. So I'm going to lay this right here on my mat. I have a nice straight cut there and there. And we're going to come over with this ruler here. And this is 15. Oh, I'm not even going to have room. We're just going to push that out of the way, slide that under here, and do where I have room with my lovely stretchy fabric. You can even cut out. Here's an idea. You have your favorite stretch pants, but you want to turn them into stretch shorts because it's summertime. Chop those legs off and then make headbands out of the bottom leg parts so they match your stretch shorts. How wonderful, right? You can make them out of whatever you want. You have a t-shirt that you're cutting because it's way too long, the bottom off of it. Our shirts stretch. Think about it. You can make matchy-matchy stuff with your own clothes. All right, I'm going to go ahead and cut a 17.5-inch piece off of here. And I figured for this size right here is a 5-inch strip. This size, I did a 6-inch strip, okay? Just thought I'd let you know. If you do not have a serger and you do not want to get a serger, but you want to make these lovely headbands, I would highly suggest a zigzag stitch, a wide zigzag stitch for stretchy fabric. I, on the other hand, don't feel like taking out a third machine to show you guys that, so we're just going to work with the serger today. I'm going to cut a second one because, you know, I'm giving these away and I might as well just make. I got one on my head, you know, so I'm keeping that for myself because I'm sweating all up on it and you guys don't want my DNA, you know. All right, so I got two. They're 17.5-inch, and now I'm going to cut them down to 5 inches. So I'm just going to go ahead now, fold it on top of itself, and put my two straight ends on top of each other. And it's very wonky, so I'm going to cut it nice and straight at 5 inches. Straight there, straight there. Ta-da! And that goes in there. And we'll make a second one. These go really fast, by the way. So I'm making a lot to make up for the fact that they go very fast. All right. So I'm going to lay this on top of there, line those straight lines.
Yesterday, right?
Yeah, I made 4 of them yesterday in like the matter of like 20 minutes or less. So they go really fast. And since I'm on camera, I figured, well, maybe it'll, you know, not take, you know, as long. I mean, it'll take longer, but honestly, it's still going fast. All right. So I have a 17.5-inch by 5-inch wide stretchy fabric here. We're going to turn the serger on, and we're going to have Scotty bring over the camera to the serger so that you can watch how I sew these.
You want it on this side?
Yes, on this side, like right here somehow. So he's going to bring that camera. It's moving. It's moving. Oh,
well, there's no room.
There's no room to walk over here, so make it face down.
Oh, you want it to come all the way up?
Yeah.
And point it down?
Yes. There we go. All right. If you could see, we're going to take this lengthwise and we're going to put that together. So along the length of the 17 inches, I'm going to match those ends up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in about an inch and I'm going to leave that open. Well, that's more than an inch, but it's hard to get it under the serger any further or any less than that. So I'm just going to go ahead and lift my little foot up and I'm going to slide this in about right there. And I'm just going to let the machine take it nice and straight. Now, my blade is on, so it's going to cut a little bit as I sew. It's literally cutting less than 1/4 of an inch off. As long as it's equal all the way down, then it should be fine. And since this is stretchy fabric, the serger makes it easier. Now that I'm about an inch from the other end, what I'm going to do is I'm going to veer off. And I'm going to create a long tail and snip. So you can see I have this end open and I have this end open. So both my ends are open. And you could also see that it still stretches really nicely. So I'm going to repeat that to show you since we're making two. The long edge is going to go together. I'm going to come in about this far right there. I'm going to lift the foot up, slide it in, let the machine catch it. Huh?
What stitch length do you use on the serger?
I have no idea what stitch length this is. I don't know how to even use this machine. It looks like it's a 1.6 or something. I don't know. I don't know nothing about this machine. I had to rethread it the other day. Oh, that was a chore. I didn't even know how to thread the machine. I've had it for a long time now, and I didn't even know how to thread it.
It was a workout.
It was a workout. I had to open this whole thing up and learn how to weave it through there and up through there. And I'm like, what 2 threads go to the needle? What 2 threads go here? Oh, my goodness, yeah. Because it got unthreaded somehow, and I had to figure it out. All right, so I'm coming up on this end. Again, I'm going to stop about right here and veer off. So I'm leaving the bottom open. Huh? I have no idea. Whatever stretch pants are made of, I'm pretty sure that's what this is. So probably jersey knit, but with a silky feel on the top. It feels. I am using Sherlock thread, Maxi Lock. That's what it's called. Coming here, veering off. So, yeah, I don't have no idea anything about how this serger really works, but I make it work for me. I haven't adjusted any settings, but you can see, again, it stretches perfectly. All right, the next step.
Does the serger feed from the top and bottom like a walking foot?
Yes, the serger feeds from the bottom and from the top. I don't know about on here like a walking foot. There's no feet on here. It just sucks it in. All right, I'm going to push all this through. All this is going to go through that hole right there. Shake it out. get it out of this side. Come on, get it out of there. Pull it out. Now, at this point, you would iron, but unfortunately, I cannot iron this fabric because I have no idea what it is and I don't want to burn it.
How did it get unthreaded?
I have no idea how it came unthreaded. It was unthreaded when I pulled it out from on the shelf.
Are you using poly thread?
Yes, that's polyester thread. I think. I'm pretty sure it is. Maxi Lock, 3,000 yards. Text 27 AA pink. And then one is green, and one is yellow, orange, and one is cream. It's what was on the machine. I haven't used enough of it to even have to buy more. I have a couple of, I have white and black for making my own clothes, but I haven't done that yet. So at this point, you can press this, depending on what kind of fabric you're using, if you know your iron settings. You can press it into the middle like this, or you can press it to the end. I had just been putting these together with it at the end like this, but the ones from the store that I have, the seam actually runs in the middle, but I'm not doing that. Anyways, what I'm going to do is take this open piece and this open piece, and we are going to put them together. So I'm going to put these right sides together right here, and I'm going to stick this right here, this end, under the serger, and we're going to sew around this very carefully like. Now, if you're using a different machine, you can use a different machine for this step. I am using this. So I'm going to get it caught under, and then I'm just going to match it up and rotate it all the way around. This is really easy, I'm telling you. Super easy. This is just a little bit harder right here. That's why I say the bigger the piece, the easier it is to sew this part. And having a bigger opening just means more you have to close, and you'll have like a funky little end. But let's take this, come on, match those two ends up. They're matching it perfectly. Let the machine suck them in. And then you can see I have now sealed the ends. And if you turn this out, now it goes on the inside. I know you're not supposed to cut the tail like that. You're supposed to slide it under, but I'm just making headbands, so it should be good. So now you can see it's one solid piece. The only thing left to do is seal this shut. If you want to hand sew these, you can. I've been just sewing them closed on the Juki. So like I said, if you press it first, it makes this part a little bit easier. But I am just going to sew it. I'm going to hold it right here and sew it on the other machine. But for now, let's seal up this other one.
Do you teach any classes?
I teach here for free every Sunday and the first and third Thursday of each month for Breakfast at Tiffany's. They're all free videos, unless I'm doing a pattern, but you'll have to buy the pattern. Other than that, the teaching of it is free. So I'm going to match these ends up, slide it under, let the machine catch it, and then just start rolling these ends together.
You have taught people classes.
I have taught in person individually here at the house. That's the newest thing I do, is in-home teaching, but it's mainly just locals. Well, the last lady came all the way from Canada for me, so they vacationed here, and yeah, I taught in person here. All right, so I'm just very carefully pulling this around, matching the two ends up. It's a little bit of a little turning game here, but like I said, if you want to leave a bigger opening, you can. But that's up to you. Just the two ends up. Oops, I let go of it accidentally. You can use a stiletto if you need to hold the two ends together. No. Nope. All right, now that my ends are together, it looks like this weird funky thing, but you can see it's completely sealed all the way around. Just gonna push everything inside. then pull on it, and it's sealed, just like that.
Have you seen the old Eleanor Burns video where she made log cabin quilts on a serger?
I've not probably seen the Eleanor Burns video of log cabins on a serger, but I have watched a video of a whole quilt made on a serger. The only thing the person didn't do on the serger was the quilting and the binding. All right, but there's a second one. Okay, I'm just going to pre-prep all of these. So I'm going to go ahead and come over here. I'm going to grab my other piece of fabric here. So this one now. And I'm going to cut these at 17.5 inches also, because this again is just as stretchy as the other one, except this one has more of what would be lined inside flannel, but this is very smooth it one way, it's one thing, and smooth it the other way, you know, kind of deal. So I'm just gonna line those two ends up, come up, move my cord out of the way so that I don't slice it. That would not be a good thing. Cut these 17.5. And then I'm going to turn and cut because I hung it over just a little bit. Right there, right there. Right there. There we go. That's much better. All right. And then I'm going to do these ones at 6 inches if I can, because let's see if this one has 6 inches. Probably doesn't. Smoothing it out, matching those two ends. I can't even slide my ruler against this stuff. It's super stretchy. All right. I'm just going to straighten it right here because there. There's not enough on this piece for 6 inches. So that's like 5 3/4. All right, let's match these ends. Yeah, this one's going to be about the same. That's about 6 inches right there. All right. Yep, that's equal. Right there. Ta-da. All right, so these ones will be just a little bit wider. You can see this one also makes a fuzzy mess. Like I said, it's fuzzy on the top. All right, now to repeat. Long side. Fold the long sides together. And then I'm going to start about 1.5 inches, 2 inches maybe down. It's really not that, though, by the time I get it under here and start it. Oh, I lost my foot pedal from moving the machine out of the way. All right, so now I'm going to sew. You can pin these closed if you want all the way down. I don't do that. With a serger, you can't actually go over your pins, so you have to remove them. And then veer off. Again, leaving that end open. Okay. I'm going to do the next one. Just going to slide it in right after. Okay. Put it in. And then start stitching. again, I'm stopping before the end. So when I get about right here on the fabric, I'm veering off. All right, snip them apart. Snip off these long tails too. Like I said, it's just a headband. I don't think it's going to matter. All right, so we're going to put them right side out now. If you just shake it, it comes out all the way. No need for any special tools. All right. We're going to take these two ends first, right here. So the bottom ones, not the top.
If you have short hair, how do you keep the headband on?
If you have short hair, how do you keep the headband on? Well, it would be the same with short or long hair. Mine is staying on my head, and I have long hair, and I had the same headbands when I had short hair. So, all right, slide this under here. And then again, I'm making sure that this is staying out of the way. So I'm literally rolling it as I go. So I'm just pulling it out of the way because I don't want to sew that other end into there and have an accident, you know. So you have to literally hold it out of the way and turn as you go. So it's a lot of finger work in holding this, but it's easily manageable. Match these two ends, hold them together. Snip it. Cut off my tail. And then turn it out. And then all I'll have to do is seal this shut.
You don't
right
have
here.
stretchy material, could you somehow use elastic?
You could use elastic if you have thick enough elastic. Just remember to stretch the elastic around your head to the tightness that you want it, and then put your fabric around your elastic. All right, again, one more time, and put these ends together. You can see there's those first. Slide it under. Start the stitching, and then just roll it around, trying to keep the top and the bottom out from under the blade and the needle. It may look like it's getting close to the needle and the blade, but it's not. I'm making sure to hold it. And you can do this at your regular machine if you have a zigzag stitch too. You could also put a straight stitch on here, but the straight stitch I learned that doesn't hold the stretchiness of the fabric very well. So it's better to have a zigzag or serger for this. Okay. Once that's there, I'll fold that in, and now all I have to do is seal it.
Is it easier to sew the stretchy material on the serger?
Yes, it's very much easier. You're going to see what happens. I'll show you right here on one that's sewn shut. Here's one that's sewn shut. See that bulgy stick outness from sewing it on stretch from the straight stitch? That's the problem with these. So I do it obviously on the bottom side where the seam is, but it doesn't look right because sealing it shut is a little bit harder on the straight machine. And there's no way to seal it on the serger because I don't know how to use the overlock part of this without the cutting thing. And even then, you know, because that's just a double stitch all the way around, even then I don't know how that works. So someday I'll figure that out. All right, we're going to move this machine out of the way, and then we're going to come over here and close all of these. And I'm going to be using black thread because that's what I have loaded. All right, so let's adjust to the other machine. Camera over here now. Yep.
You can do it on that?
Yeah, it's set up for this. You have to open Streamlabs. I don't know where you have it on here.
Right on the bottom. Right there.
Oh.
Let's do it together. We will learn together. Sergers take special needs.
I think so. I don't know. I've never changed the needles on my serger. I don't even know. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know nothing about it. I don't have a manual for it, and I downloaded one. I just never read it.
Okay. We're all gonna link YouTube.
All right. Sorry, guys. I'm starting this
Giveaway.
giveaway thing. I just got to figure out because we're on a different computer. Mine, it's like super easy, and it's already there. So we're on Scotty's computer.
Do you want me to go get the other computer?
No, that's fine. All right, it's on.
Oh, it is?
Okay, the cloud spot right here. Then you're going to go to giveaways, which is right here. And we're going to scroll down to random stuff right here. Click on it.
Start giveaway?
It runs for an hour and 40 minutes. We're going to change it down to 30. Oops, wrong version. Come on. Oh, you have to click, continuously click it. My goodness.
Well, what are we going here? Timer
There
duration?
we
You want
go.
it at 40?
Yeah, sure. Confirm. Now just press start on that one.
Okay.
All right, guys. He's going to move the camera the rest of the way over here.
The giveaway's on.
Yeah, should be started. Yep. So if you guys want to enter to win headbands that I make today, then enter to win by typing explanation gift.
Yeah, it seems to be working.
Okay. All right.
What are you trying to put it?
Right here, closer, so they can see the sewing.
Okay. I didn't know where you wanted it.
Oh, yeah. All right. So I have black thread loaded for this. Also, I'm going to fold this down in here. Like I said, I did not press this seam, so I'm going to kind of roll it in my fingers until it's under the 1/4 of an inch or so that it's been stitched. And then I'm going to grab some clips. Yeah, and you guys could only enter the giveaway once. All right, so I've rolled my seam right here in my fingers to the edge, so that way it's nice and there. I'm just going to put a clip here, like that, so that one's clipped closed. Then I'm going to roll this one under and that under. Match that end right here, put a clip. I'm going to make sure this end is at the edge of that seam and put a clip. This is just to win the headbands that I'm making in today's video. So you'll have matching headbands with me. And it'll be free shipping within the US. Yeah. All right. Clip any stray threads that you need to when you're doing this. All right, so I'm going to just finger roll this to the edge. I'm just putting the seam on the edge. You can press it to the middle if you want to, or however you want your headbands to lay. The store ones, like I said, are in the middle. That's like the ones I have from the store. But these, I'm just putting the seam on the outer edge, because when you put it on your head, you can make the seam land at the back of your head. All right. You could use a zigzag to closure it, but it will look kind of weird, I think. That's just my own personal opinion, but if that's what you want to use, you can do it with a zigzag. A ruler that cuts multiple strips. What do you mean? I don't get it. You can cut multiple strips with any ruler. Yeah. That's up to you and your rotary cutter. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and right before the seam needs to be closed, I'm going to back stitch, and then I'm going to stay 1/8 of an inch from the edge. I have it folded under. Oops, that one is poking out a little. Come on, stay where I put you. Right there. There we go. So about 1/8 of an inch along the edge, and I'm just going to seal these, and I'm using black thread. I'm going to make sure that that seam is folded at that edge. I have a nice long tail. And I'm going to change my stitch length to a 3 millimeter. So I'm going to back stitch and then forward stitch. I'm just going to hold it nicely as I seal it shut. I'm letting the fabric stretch into it too, because if it doesn't, it doesn't pull very nicely. And then back stitch once I'm past where I needed to seal it, and then cut away my excess thread. So it is nice and sealed, and it stretches, so you can see where it's been sealed. I cannot control that. I don't know how to do that properly. If you wanted to, you could probably do a 4 millimeter stitch, holding the seam all the way down and all the way around. I don't know how the thread will hold up with the stretch. I did not try that yet, but like I said, we're learning together, because again, I'm just learning how to do this. So I think it's cute though, and I like that I'm making my own stuff. So there's one. Let's seal another. I'm making sure that that seam is folded all the way. This is my first time ever doing something like this on camera, so I've never stitched anything like this. Never attempted headbands, so this is a first. Right, snip my excess threads. And there I have my second one, all nice and sealed. This fabric is like plushy, like I said, it's very soft, so it kind of hides it a little bit, but it's not perfect, but it's a headband. All right, this one on the other hand, you'll see the top stitch on this one. This one is 100% just regular, like I said, body type pants, suit, stretch pants type fabric. So I'm stitching 1/8 of an inch from the edge with a 3 millimeter stitch length. I'm also trying to make sure that that seam stays on the edge all the way, the rest of the way beyond where I'm stitching. Come on. Roll out. There you go. Back stitch when I'm beyond where I need to be. Cut threads. Snip away the excess thread. And there we have another one closed. That looks a lot better than the current one I'm wearing. I used white thread on the one I'm wearing. The black is a lot more hidden. So there's
your hair covers it.
Yeah. All right, so there's another one. One more of these to go, and we can move on to the next kind. And then the next kind after that is one I've not done yet. I haven't even made a sample one. All right, so I'm gonna put that under. Back stitch first, stitching 1/8 of an inch from the edge. Making sure that that seam stays where I want it. Back stitch there. And there's the last one. These are homemade, like I said, from someone who is brand new at it. And you're going to win them so that you can match with me. Okay, So there's 2 different kinds. Look at that. Cute little headbands, huh? All right, let's move on now to the next kind. This one is the next kind. This is definitely something you can do whatever you want with, okay? Because I don't even know the sizes that this could have even been done, because I had to go down several different times with the size, because I've seen this on videos and the videos aren't very, they don't give you the sizes. And I'm going to give you sizes of what I got for this, which fits my head perfectly. So, and I have that 21.5-inch human head skull, so we're going to do it with this one. Well, that's the number I got. Oh, let's go back just a little bit further. Right there. Okay. All right. So for this one, my main fabric that sits on the top of my head is 17.5 inches. And this wide one was 17.5 by 8.5, give or take, because I used the serger and it cuts them off. But we're going to go ahead and cut 2 pieces. This is regular quilting cotton here, by the way. I'm just going to cut 1 strip off here because I'm going to get 2 out of that.
There you go. How do you measure your head?
How do you measure your head? You take your measuring tape and go around your head. So I have the 0 right here, and I'm going to put it around my head. Down here at the bottom. Can you see my head? And then I'm going to come up to the top right here, and I'm going to put that 0 where my thumb is and touch my other thumb to the other side. And that's where I get, well, now it landed on 22. So, yeah. But that's how you measure your head. Huh? Yesterday I had 21.
Yeah, we had me read it for you.
Oh. Okay, hold on. We're going to put this one on my head so that they could see what it looks like. Well, they don't need to see the part of me putting it on my head. Once it's on my head, they can see it. So this one I made like a bandana, but these other ones, they're not going to look like a bandana. Oh, yeah, no, I did my head around the thing. All right, I'm going to tilt the camera for a second. See? A bandana style. And so it sticks out like a bandana would when you tie it, but it holds the hair back. I like this style. This one, because it looks cute, right? Nice. So this is what we're going to make now, is this style. Okay? So I'm going to show you. Let's go back down here now.
Yeah, did you measure under your hair?
Oh, I just measured on top of my hair. Because this time, because I had the bandana, the other thing on my head.
21 the other day.
Yeah.
22.
Move those out of the way. Okay, I'm going to cut this now. All right, so I took my selvage off. I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to cut an 8.5-inch strip. So 5, 6, 7, 8.5 right here. Okay, so this is going to give you the thick, wide one like I have currently on my head. Okay, and then this other strip that's going to be the bottom piece. Actually, let's use this color for it. That looks cute together. We're going to take that bottom piece, which is the stretchy part down here on the bottom, and we're going to cut a, what is mine? What did I say? Oh, 3.5-inch by 8.5-inch piece. I'm going to fold this fabric real quick and cut off right here at the end. Just going to cut off almost 3.5 inches, about right here real quick. And then we'll straighten it because I'm getting 2 out of this. Just turn it this way.
If you don't like that it sticks up, can you taper it so it's smaller in the back?
Yeah, you can taper it so it's smaller in the back. All right, we're going to cut 3.5 inches. Right there, so that's going to go in my strings bin. And then this might be enough for the 2 8.5 inch. 8, 8, 8, 8, right there, 8.5. So, and then another 8.5. Do I have room for that? Yes, I do. Look at that. So I'm making 2, but you only need 1 8.5 by 3.5 inch, and then your regular fabric for the main part is going to be 17.5 inches. Yes, we're going with that smaller number again, but this fabric does not stretch. So we're going to do 17.5 by 8.5. Am I going to get 17.5 here? No, I'm not. I'm going to get 1, and then the other one will be that fabric. Okay. So I'm going to cut a 17.5 inch piece real quick right here. All right, there. And then the other one is going to be the last of this fabric, which is not as wide, but it's going to be a bandana one. So I'm going to be making a bandana one and a not bandana one. Oh, I can't make them any different. Yeah. Yeah, you have, I'm going to show you, you'll be able to get them to the size of your own head. I'm going to show you how that works. Sorry, I got to cut the selvage off of this. And then this one is going to be smaller. So by an inch. So we'll do 7.5. There we go. All right. And I'll cut one more of these at 8.5. Okay. Here's the big one that's going to be thick like the one on my current head right now. We're going to bring the serger over. I'm serging these. Why? Because I can. And then I'm going to do these 2, which are 7.5 instead of 8.5. So they're an inch smaller in the bandana colors. All right. So I'm going to fold it the long way like this. It's the same exact almost thing, except this time I'm sewing from end to end. I'm not leaving anything open. But I am using the serger for this because they're going on our heads and we don't want this to fall apart. Will you plug the iron in for me? These will need to be ironed. So here's my smaller version. No, I'm going to do it because it's just really easy.
So do you want the little one? Or do you want this one? What I'm getting. Which iron?
The little one's fine.
That one?
Yeah.
You ironing over there?
Yeah. All right, and one more.
Until you're ready. So don't burn your hand. Tell me you burned your hand the other day.
Yeah, I burned myself here, here, and up on my arm right here the other day. Only because I'm actually sick again. So on this, you can actually use a regular sewing machine. No need for a zigzag or any special stitch. I just have the serger out, so that's why I'm using the serger. Now I'm going to take these 8.5 by 3.5 inch pieces, and I'm going to do the same exact thing. I'm going to sew them right here on the serger. Huh? Yeah, if you have a stretch stitch on your machine. These are not stretchy. I'm just using the serger because it's out and I got to get used to using it. Right, one more. So all of my pieces are folded in half the long way. So that whole long seam. Right sides together. All right. I'm going to go ahead and snip all this apart. And then we're going to push the machine out of the way so that we can iron. All right. Machine out of the way. All right, here is the fun part. We're going to take and pull this whole thing out. There's plenty of room to get it through the other side. Oops, I'm throwing things around now. Let's just pull it through all the way. Right side's out. There are some sergers that only use 3, and I can only use 3 if I want it on mine. All right, there's one piece, then we have another one for a smaller one. Just push it through. Like I said, these go really quick. Come on, right here. Oh my goodness, come on. Now this next part is up to you. You could put the seam in the middle if you would like, or you can put it on the edge. I like it on the edge. So I'm going to go ahead now and press. I'm going to be in the camera's way for a second. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, now I do. I'm going to give it a little finger press the way I want it to go, and then I'm going to roll it. There we go. So I'm going to put my seam on the edge. You can put it in the middle if you would like, but we're going to be top stitching this because it just gives it an even better look, and it keeps it nicely, perfectly folded at all times. 1. Give number 2 a little finger press. That way that seam is just pushed to the one side for now. Then I'm going to roll it on top of itself, nice and flat. There. Nice and flat. Okay, those are the 2 short ones. Here's the chunkier version, like what I currently have on my head. We'll put this one seam in the middle, just so that you can see it, it can go in the middle. Okay. Now for the little pieces, these ones are a little bit harder to push through, so if you have a tool to push it through, it might make it easier, but I just use my fingers and it works just fine. Kind of just like shove it from one side to the other and use my fingers to pull it out. But they do have tools that are like this, these long tools you could use to push things through. Just like that. So again, you can just use the ends of this. You could probably use a poker or something too, of some sort. A coat hanger, the pokers that come with the fluffy pillow fill stuff. I mean, you can use whatever. Let's put the whole thing in there. However you would like to push it out to the other side. Come on. Ta-da! 2, and 1 more. You only need 1 for your headband, though. I'm just making 3 headbands at once. All right, and now we're going to press these as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the seam on the edge. Again, you could put it in the middle if you wanted, but I think it does better on the edge because we're going to top stitch anyway. Right, there's 1. You can make these for your grandkids, measure their heads, and I guess it would just be the slight adjustment because I don't know a number for children's heads. I would say for the big part, just minus 3 inches, you know, for their head sizes. And then for the little one, always probably do the 8 inches or 8.5 inches. You can probably even make them with the bows, which is what the next one we're going to do is going to be a little bit different. Because I haven't done that one yet. All right. Now I'm going to take these over to the other machine and we're going to swap out to white thread, and I'm going to go ahead and top stitch these. So we're going to move the camera over to this side in just a second. Let me change out my thread color real quick. And then I'll move the camera. Oops, well, that happened. That was weird. Alrighty. Yes, please. Change out. So last week, I'm done with it. You can unplug it. Last week, I showed you guys, I talked about thread, not showed, I talked about thread and how I use this essentials thread. I've been getting a lot of comments, like a whole heck of a lot of comments about the essentials thread, and is it linty? Well, once the camera is brought over, if you could see down in here, can you see how not messy that is in there? That's about how linty it is after, a couple weeks of, here, we'll pull some lint out. There we go. That's a couple weeks worth. So, I mean, yeah, it's not a very linty thread. It's somewhat linty, but it's not horrible.
Is this good here?
Yeah, that's perfect right there. So that's what the essentials thread in there is like. One more after these three. All right, so
No, how many did you make total?
2 and 2.
Then you're making 3 here?
Yes. And one more different kind.
2, 4, 5, what, 6, 7?
One of each of these will go with that pile. So they'll get one of each of these, and then these two can be one.
So is that 3 giveaways?
Yeah. We can do 3, yeah. All right, we're going to top stitch now. Just like you would do with a bag, we're going to do the top stitch on both sides. So my seam and the other side. And I'm just going to keep it at a 3mm stitch length because it doesn't need to be a tight stitch right here. Just a nice pretty top stitch. 1/8 of an inch from the edge, and I'm going to go ahead and do all of them on both sides of every single one of these pieces. I think it looks really clean doing this, and it keeps everything from shifting when you start wearing your headband and washing it and stuff all the time. Since it is summertime and we sweat a lot, so you're going to be washing your headband. You want it to stay. And decorative-wise, it looks really nice. I'm just top stitching with a 3mm stitch on both sides. I'm going to do one side, and then I'm going to do the opposite side. 1/8 of an inch from the edge. Plus, this draws out how long it takes to make them. Because I'm telling you, they go quick. Now, this one it has the seam down the center, so I'm just going to go ahead and stitch on both sides of the fold, because the seam is in the middle. This will keep that seam always in the middle. All right, so I'm going to turn every single one of these around and do the opposite side. Oops, I grabbed. I'm going to move those over there. Go ahead and stitch down this side of everything now. Okay. Snip these apart. And we're going to work on one at a time now. That one. Snip, snip. And this one goes with this one. Put that over there. All right. Now what you're going to need is a 6-inch piece of elastic. Now I'm just using 1/4-inch elastic. Yeah, this 1/4-inch elastic. I'm just using a 6-inch piece of 1/4-inch elastic. If you have thicker elastic, then it's just going to fit thicker inside this piece. But it needs to be 6 inches. It needs to be a lot smaller, so 2 inches or so smaller than your piece. So I'm going to go ahead now. I have 3 6-inch pieces of elastic. And I'm going to go ahead and just slide this open. Oh, wait. We need a safety pin for this part. I forgot. I almost am ahead of myself. I'm going to put the safety pin on one end because this helps. Safety pin on one end. I'm going to slide it down in there just like this. And I'm going to bring this end right here to this one side right here, just sliding it down, and it's going to be equal with the middle of this one side. Once I have it equal with the middle, I'm actually going to stitch it. I'm going to change my stitch length and top stitch to both sides. Then I'm going to take that safety pin and push it the rest of the way through like this. And we're going to match up that other end. And I think this piece ended up being more than 6 inches. Did I cut these 6 inches? Because it looks long. Oh, no, it is 6 inches. Okay.
Have you made a video spraying the adhesive spray?
A video spraying adhesive spray. Yeah. I've showed spraying when I've sat down and quilted. All right, so now this end is sticking out. Don't worry about this funkiness down here. We're going to match this side up now with the center of this side. And just use your fingers. I tap it in just a little bit like this. If it sticks out, no big deal. You're going to trim it anyway. And now it's sewn into there. So now it should be more wrinkled than that. Is this not 8.5 inches? What? It's not. This was the smaller one. That's why. See what happens here when I'm not paying attention? Oh, well. It's still the size it needs to be. So it's just not as wrinkly as the rest are going to be. Yeah. No wonder it looked small. All right, we're going to do that same thing. I'm going to put this one with that and this one with these because these are the right size. Right? No, they're not. This is short. That is short. And this one is long. Alrighty. Slide this in here. Same procedure, it's just going in the center, keeping that elastic from being twisted. Here, slide it in the center, hold it, stitch it. Find the end of that piece, your safety pin, pull it through, keeping the elastic straight, and it is right here at the end. I'm going to pop the safety pin out so that I can top stitch over this, keeping it right there in the center. You can see this one's just a little bit more wrinkled than the other one. See, which is fine. All right, one more. Slide this in. Sliding it in the middle, keeping that elastic nice and straight. If you have a lot of elastic left from making masks and it's that little stringy type stuff, you can still do it with that as well. So I know a lot of people had lots of leftover elastic from that. They didn't know what to do with it all. You make headbands. All right, got that in there. I'm just gonna slide it down a little bit, keeping it in the center, and then I'm gonna top stitch back and forth a few times. All right, we're gonna close the safety pin and move it out of the way so I don't hurt myself. And now we're gonna take one of these and our bottom piece right here, and I am going to put this on one end like this. I'm also going to try to keep that elastic, this end flat, keep that end flat. I'm going to put it on here. I'm just going to fold this over on one side and this over on the other, meeting those two ends up. So I'm literally just folding it. It should meet exactly in the middle because it's half of that size. This one is. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead now and stitch across that whole entire bottom, back and forth a few times.
It's the headband part of 17.
We're going to find out because I had to adjust the one that's on my head a few times. This was just my main cut. All right, this other end, we're going to now bring it to over here. And we're going to make sure that that's nice and flat on this side. And this can be adjusted. We're not done with this yet. We're going to find out the size that it needs to be to fit a head.
Does connecting threads sell essentials?
Connecting threads sells essential threads, right? Yes, it's connecting threads that we buy it from. Yes. Yes, it's connecting threads. All right, so I'm sewing with a 1/4 inch seam or a 1/4-ish inch seam right here at the end. I'm also going to get rid of all that excess thread hanging off both these ends for now. And at this moment, we're going to turn it around, pulling that inside there. And on this, I tried to serge it on the bigger one, and it was really bulky. But you can serge it if you need to or want to. So here is the headband. If this is not your head's size, we're going to use my head as an example. I'm going to go ahead and put it on my head real quick. So it's a little bit loose. So what you'll do is if it's a little bit loose, you'll turn it back around on both sides and take in your seam just a little bit more, and then you'll just cut off that excess seam. So it needs to come in just a little bit more. So I'm going to come in about a 1/4 inch right there, and then I'll come to this side and take another seam, and then we'll cut off that excess. This is how you can measure for your grandkids' heads, you know. And I'm going to cut, since it's a 1/4 inch, I'm going to cut right at that other stitching, so that stitching is holding that end sealed and tight. Since I stitched just a 1/4 inch from that, and when I flip it out, it'll be less raw edge. See, so it's pretty sealed right there on that edge. And pull it back around again, just flipping this in there, inside, flipping it inside like that. I'm gonna put it on my head and see. Oh yeah, that's perfect. So that's the perfect size right there. So I'm pretty sure whoever this goes to, it's now got my DNA on it, but it'll fit you.
Uh-oh, they're going to frame you for murder.
They're going to frame me for quilt murder. So I'm not making a quilt today. All right, I'm going to keep everything off my head so that I can measure the next two. I'm just using my head as an example, so if you guys need to adjust them even smaller when you get them, then you'll be able to do that. All right, again, take this end, I'm going to make it flat, I'm going to lay it on here, and I'm going to fold it in and fold it in. So both pieces are folded in towards the center. This and like that. And I'm going to stitch across it. And then I'm going to do another little stitch to close that edge, and I'll cut along it. right, and I'll cut that in a minute when we know if that's the correct size. So I'm going to flatten this end out now. Come over here, making sure everything's staying flat. Fold this in, fold this in, stitch across it, back and forth a few times, and then make a second stitch where I can, oops, I popped my thread. That's what I get for back and forth fast stitching. All right, so before I do anything, I'm going to make sure it's the right size by flipping it out, turning that in. We'll cut all those threads in a second when I know it's the right size. I'm going to put it on my head. Oh yeah, perfect. Perfect on the first try with this one. All right, so I'm going to cut off that excess. I already sewed that second seam right there, so I'm just going to cut along it so the raw edges are pretty much held down nice and tightly, and it's nice and clean cut, you know. You can go over it with the serger if you have one, or a zigzag stitch if you want to get rid of those raw edges even more. But I think this works right here with just cutting it, sewing right next to it, and then cutting it away. See, very clean looking right there. All right, so I'm going to fold it back out. And there's the second one done. All right. There it is. Oh, that thread was just hanging out of it. All right, so there's another headband. Now we have this last one, which is a lot bigger. Since these, when you fold it in, I'm just going to say this right here. When you fold this in and then you flip it out, because the seam is running down the center, that seam will be on the outside. So technically, if you did the seam in the middle, you want to face it down for this part. So I'm going to go ahead and do that same exact thing, except this is bigger now. So I'm going to bring one side in. It's going to touch all the way because this was now 1.5 inches. It finishes at 1.5. And this was an 8.5 inch piece. It folds down all the way, which is perfectly fine. So we're going to go across it. I'm going to go ahead and do that second stitch to, that way I can cut against it. All right, I'm going to bring this in all the way. And technically, oh yeah, there was no seam. I did edge seams on those. I was going to say, if you did the seam in the middle on this piece, then you would want that to face out also. That way when you turn it right side out as a headband, that it would be on the inside or the underside. So I'm going to center that. I know it's center because when I pull this over, it comes to one whole side. And when I pull this over, it comes to the opposite side. Go ahead and stitch. I'm going to do that second stitch to cut away from it. Flatten that edge out. All right. I'm going to cut right along there. I'm pretty sure this is going to be about the same as the last one, so I'm not even going to have to measure, I don't think, but we'll put it on my head anyway, just to make sure. Okay, I'm going to turn the whole thing out. So now you can see my center seam is not on this side, which is the outside of the headband. It's on the underside. Let's see if it fits my head. I think it fits just fine. Someone else might have a bigger head than me. Never know. All right, so that one fits good. So there's another one down. Now there's just one more that I haven't tried that I'm going to try. So the giveaway will consist of one of each of these. Okay, so 2 people will get one of each of these. And then the third person will get this one and the one I'm going to attempt right now and the children's size one that you could adjust if you just undo it. You know, you can turn it around and stitch it more if you need to adjust it. But it's, like I said, it's not an adult size because it don't fit my head. Did it? Oh, we have to choose winners whenever I'm ready. Oh, sorry. All right, I'm tying my hair up real quick and I'm going to move the camera back over to the other side. We'll choose winners in a minute. We're going to finish this up with my last style that I am not 100% sure about how it's going to work, but we're going to try it. All right, that there, that there. So those 3 go to one person. A water? No, I have one. Thank you. And then those 2 plus this third one. All right. What I'm going to do is I just grabbed a big chunk of scrap fabric. So it's yellow with pink polka dots. And I am going to cut 2, we're going to do 6-inch strips because I've never done this style. So I'm going to try this style. So I'm going to cut 2 6-inch strips off of here by whatever the size of fabric is. I'm going to figure it out anyway. 6 and 2 6s. And then I need the bottom piece, which will be, we're just going to do a 3-inch on that because I'm not 100% sure how it's going to need to be. Okay. 17 and a half. What's 18 divided by 2? 17 divided by 2 doesn't equal.
18 divided by 2 is 9. 17 divided by 2 would be 8.5.
Okay, we're going to do 8.5 inch. No, because there's going to be a seam. So let's do 9 inches. We're going to do 9 inches by 6 inches. And we're going to do 2 pieces that are 9 by 6. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 by 6. Let's hope this works. And then this will be, we'll do 9 inches by 3 inches on this. We're just guessing here, my friends, because I've never done this one. I'm saying them out loud, so if it works, then you'll have the numbers. So we're going to take this to 9 inches also. And then we're going to need more elastic because I don't, is this a 6-inch piece? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5. That's a 6.5-inch piece. We'll use that because we're not 100% sure. Okay, I'm going to go ahead real quickly and serge this. I'm going to just serge this side together all the way from one end to the other. I'm going to do it with all 3 of these pieces on the long side. So I have 6 by 9-inch pieces, 2 of them for this. And then, was this the piece? That was the piece. And then 1 3-inch by 9-inch piece. Alrighty. this machine out of the way because I don't need it. Actually, I can turn it off because I don't need it. All right, I'm going to trim these apart, and we're going to turn them out. If I can get the thread off my fingers. All right, there's one. 2. And let's get this turned around. Okay, this we might need to do the other flippy method. The other flippy method is to hook this to one side and push it through to the other, like this. All right. So you literally hook it to this dumb tool, which is a very smart idea, and pull it through, and then you just take off your piece. And so if you're using skinnier, you know, back of the head pieces, the tool is useful for that. So that was a skinnier one because it was 3 inches. All right, I don't need my safety pin anymore, but I do need my little iron on again. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to top stitch and hope that it stays flat. How about that? All right, let's bring this over here. Back.
Do you want the iron on or no?
No, I'm not even going to bother. We're just going to come over here and top stitch. We're going to do this the no iron way. Literally, just line up those seams and slowly stitch across it. Keeping it flat as I go. We're going to be a daredevil. Daredevil Tiffy making headbands. I'm just going to start by like giving it a slight finger press to one side. We're going to bring this to the edge instead of the center because we're doing a 2-piece one, which I'm not sure how this is even going to come out. I see all these videos online of things like this, and I've never tried it. Hence me trying all this stuff now. Learning how to do it with you. Live. Yeah, it's fun. I'm definitely enjoying making these headbands. So, you know, when I start having grandkids, I'll know how to make headbands for them. By then, I might know how to make the kind with the cute bows and everything, you know? Yeah, so I'll be able to, you know, dress them up really cute and then send them home. And then when they're old enough, they'll be like, Grandma, I want to make a headband. And I'll be like, you can do it yourself, kid. Watch my old videos. Nah, I'm just kidding. I won't be that mean. All right, I'm just going to flatten it out and sew the other side. Look at that. I should have used pink thread. That probably would have been cuter. This is almost as good as an iron. Just using my hands to flatten things out. It's going to get wrinkled anyway. All right. Last piece. All right, now I need to slide my elastic through we need this and this. Ouch, I just poked myself. Okay, put the elastic in the hole, same as before, making sure that it's staying nice and straight. Okay, there it is. I'm going to center it right here at the end, and then I'm going to top stitch it. I'm going to find my other end by pushing my, whatchamacallit, safety pin through, grabbing it, keeping that, yep, that's flat in there. So we're going to grab this end, make sure it's sitting in the center. I'm literally going to keep that safety pin there for a second, though. I shouldn't be sewing through it. I'm on the end of it. There we go. Now I'll remove the safety pin and stitch it properly, because it was very hard to get it right there because it's a smaller piece. All right, now this one, we're going to take these two pieces, somehow crossing them over like this. That doesn't look very long. Looks like it needed to be longer. This is definitely going to be a children's one. All right, that's folded correctly, and then that's folded right sides together as these right here. There we go. Yep, this is going to be a children's one. It's kind of small. All right, I got this together like this. So I had them flat. This one goes this way, and this one goes this way, just like this, matching those ends. I'm just going to lay them on top of each other. We're going to do that same exact procedure. Like I said, I've never done this one before, so it looks like they'll have to be longer than, what did I say I was at? 9.5 or something like that. Just going to fold this in and fold that in, and this will be a children's one. So this will go with the other children's one that's going to whomever wins it. All right, and then this side, we're going to make sure that that's still straight. Bring that in, keep this straight on here. Everything on top of each other. Slide that in the center. I'm going to make sure that that's flat though. Right here. Flat. And flat. This will be a little kid head. Little head. And folding the two ends, the same as the last one. And then back and forth on here. I'm going to do another stitch so that it seals it all the way. Hiding that raw edge. I'm going to do the same on the other side, and then I'll cut away that excess. And we'll see how big this actually is. Just trying something new. For an adult one, we'll have to figure out the size. I guess it'll just have to be like a play it by making it kind of deal with scrap fabric. You know, just make a really long one and then just keep sewing it further and further down as you go. Okay, I'm gonna cut away all that excess. Right under that stitch. All right, let's turn it out and see. Oh, that's like newborn baby, 10 centimeters small. That I'm not even going to give away. I'm going to make another one. This thing's dinky. It's the idea right here, though. It's like newborn baby head right here.
It would fit it over an animal. They were all saying make one for Thumper, which he obviously wouldn't wear. But
Thumper wouldn't wear it, but yeah. So needs to be longer. So this end to this end needs to be a lot longer. I'm gonna go grab a piece of scrap fabric, and we're gonna try one more time to make this longer.
How long
So
are the other ones?
I think they just need to be 17.5 inches, honestly, because you're folding it in half. It needs to be the same as its other side, right? It's as a solid one. So we're gonna actually cut them at 17.5. So let me grab another piece of fabric that's big. Let's grab, I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab a fat quarter. Fat quarter from the fabric room. Right here. What'd you say? Oh, it's fine.
Can you show the device that you use to thread your machine?
Oh, this is a needle threader. Fat Quarter Shop has them. It's by Dritz. When you thread the machine, you turn it upside down. So we're just gonna come close so that you can see real quickly. Like, I'm gonna pull my thread out of the hole, stick it upside down, because the hook, I don't know if you guys can see that. Is it gonna zoom? Right there. The hook is, there it is. You can see it against the white better than my finger. Is on the end. Right there. See that little notch? So you want the notch facing down. Your bird is going upside down. Oops. Let's lower that. Into the hole. Hook it underneath that notch, your thread, just like this. And then pull it through the hole. Like this. There we go. And I ruined my thread doing that because I grabbed it wrong. You see that? I shredded my thread. That's what I get for trying to show it on camera. Put that in the hole, grab it by the end, and pull it through. I didn't grab it all the way, but it's in there. So it goes upside down. I never use this threader that's on my machine because, unfortunately, my machine's threader sucks. I can never get it on any of my, well, my Juki F600, the HCL F600, I can actually do it. But the TL2010 Qs, I cannot do it. All right, Scotty, will you turn the iron on again real quick? The little guy, yep. Okay, I have a fat quarter here. I'm actually going to cut the fat quarter I'm not going to iron it. I'm just going to cut it and then iron the pieces. All right, here we go. Let's try this. We're going to cut 2 pieces at 6" by 17.5 because I have a feeling that it needs to be the whole number. All right, so those 2 edges are nice and perfect. We're going to line that up there, and I'm going to go 6 inches. Kind of seemed wide. Do you think 5 would be better? No, 6 inches is perfect if it's bigger. We're going to do 6 inches, and then I'll iron. So 2 strips that are 6 by 17.5. And then I'm going to use this as my accent for this. It'll be cute. And these 2 need to be 17.5, but I'm going to press them first. And instead of using a serger, we'll use the regular sewing machine for the whole thing. So you can make these headbands 1 fat quarter per headband, by the way. You'll have scraps left over from it, so you probably get 2 maybe out of it if you cut it just right. Because it's 18, yeah, so it's 18 inches wide. Yep, you can get 2 headbands per fat quarter, probably. If you do like 4-inch pieces. All right, I'm going to cut these to 17.5 inches. I just did it lengthwise, but that's okay because I don't mind having scraps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and a half right here. We're trying it one more time. One more time. Almost cut myself. That's like the 3rd time I've almost done that. All right, 2 of those, and then 1 piece that is 3 inches by 9.5. So come about right there, and line this up on the. No, it doesn't need to be that. It needs to be 8 inches, or no, 8.5 inches, sorry. So 3 inches by 8.5. If the top pieces are the same, that's right, because now I'm not taking any inches away. The only thing I need now is some more elastic. So let me grab myself some elastic. I just need 6 inches, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right there. There's my 6 inches of elastic. I'm just using, now I'm switching to 3/8 yard, just stretch right elastic. I don't even know where it came from. I did buy a bunch of elastic from a lady years and years ago, and it all works just fine. So it's very elasticy still. All right, so now I'm just going to, at the regular machine, sew all this. And then we'll press it. So I'm going to kind of just give you guys a shot right here. There we go. So I'm just going to sew it on the regular machine. I'm going to change my stitch length to a 2. I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch seam. Oh, it is stitching, okay. Sounded like it wasn't. I'm going to do the same on my big pieces. Down the long edge. Fold them in half. This better work. These might be way too long, but we'll see. Remember, we're making it up as we go because we don't have real instructions from a professional that makes these all the time. Okay. And then this right here. I know I cannot sew a straight line, but I'm attempting it. Been trying to teach myself to sew without using the seam guide. It's kind of hard, but right, let's move you back over here again so that we can iron.
Why were you trying to do it that way?
Oh, because that means I have to keep moving it out of the way for all this stuff.
Okay.
I don't want to have to keep moving it out of the way. All right, pushing it through here. Just going to use this wonderful stick thing to push it out the rest of the way. And then we'll press it. Let's get this one. Push it through. If you guys are curious what this stick thingy is, it is a Dritz drawstring threader. You can find them at like Fat Quarter Shop or probably anywhere, honestly. Walmart probably has them, yes. Exactly. All right, we're going to do this one because it's skinny with this. Just putting my safety pin on there, hooked on the end, and then pushing it through like this, and it takes my safety pin hooked to the fabric through to the other side somehow, some way. There it goes. Sometimes it doesn't want to go right away. And then it comes out the other side, and you just pull. So if you need to thread drawstrings through pants because it came out, or hoodies or things like that, this would work as well, because that's what this is pretty much for. All right. So I'm going to go ahead now and press this, all these pieces. Roll it flat and take the iron across it. Okay, there's one piece. Put that over there to top stitch. We're going to find the seam on this and move the iron because this is what burnt me the other day. It's this darn little iron.
Yeah, tell me you burnt yourself 3 times.
Yeah, 3 times. I reached across, and this is all on video, by the way, my friends. I reached across, I got the edge right here. I reached across and got my finger right here, and then how I got the inside of my arm, I have no idea, but it's on video. It's just in fast forward, so you really can't tell that I'm burning myself. It's on the Open Gates time-lapse thing. I actually was sick that day when I started it, because I was already sick from telling you guys I was going to be on anyway, and, making the Open Gate thing. And yeah, I was sick, and I was so tired, like just flu tired, where your whole body aches and everything. And I just wanted to sleep, but I pushed through and made that quilt for that video. And there's a second video, by the way, going to come out this week for the other half of what was in the box, the car trash bag. I just haven't gotten it edited yet. I've been doing too much sick stuff because I had issues yesterday.
Yeah, tell me you were in the ER yesterday.
I was, well, not only was I in urgent care, but I got sent from urgent care to the ER yesterday. So I had a slight big problem that was presenting itself as a stroke, or as, what was it called? Bell's palsy or something like that.
Just tell me the side of your face.
Anyway, my left side of my face, the left side only, at my bottom lip, a little bit at the corner where the top lip meets up, and down into my chin and jaw on my left side of my face, inside my mouth, the edge of my tongue, up past my eye and everything, swole. And I ended up finding out that it looked like a stroke. My face was like saggy, nasty, funky looking. But I was able to smile properly, and yeah. So anyway, turns out I had an allergy to something. We don't know yet, but it's possible with the big thing that's on my bottom lip. If you saw in the beginning of the video, I have like this scabby thing on my bottom lip. that I got bit or stung by something and I had an allergic reaction to it, the kind where your face swells, but only one side of my face swells and it went numb. So much swelling that it caused it to press on nerves in my face that caused my face to go numb, and that's why they thought I was having a stroke or Bell's palsy. So they had to do CAT scan and everything, but everything turned out fine, and it turned out to be an allergy to who knows what, because it wasn't the food I ate. At least not that we're aware, because I ate the same exact thing I always eat the day before. So yeah, I spent my morning and afternoon in emergency room because of a allergy, an unexpected allergy. Never know when those things are going to hit and we're going to have problems allergy wise. Yeah. All right, let me finish this up and we'll pull 3 winners. We stitch these on the edge. We know how they go, and then we'll put the elastic in. On the, you got that page still open, right, Scotty? The page is still open for the giveaway. You have to leave it open for it to work.
It ran the whole time with it closed.
Oh, well, open it back up, please. You have to leave it open the whole time. Yeah. Okay. Is it open?
Where do I go?
Go to giveaway, where you were. Okay. And then you're gonna have to wait for me because I have to see the screen. All right, we're gonna slide our elastic in here. I'm gonna grab my safety pin. Yeah, click pick a winner. Kate Berggren, you are the winner of one, not just one. You're going to get a few headbands. So you are one of the winners. If you email the address tonight, it will get mailed off tomorrow. It's free shipping within the U.S. Just if you guys didn't remember that part. Yeah, he's going to the post office in the morning, so. All right, I'm gonna pop this out of this side and hold the thing right here in the center and put my elastic in there. All right, that's tacked down now. Move that safety pin out of the way. And now we're gonna, these are top stitched. We're going to do that crossover thing. So one is gonna come this way and the other is gonna come that way. And then we're gonna pull them out. The next winner is Pamela Ebel. All right, I'm going to put one of these right here on this end. Let's see if this is actually how it's going to go. I'm going to put it on there, and I'm going to fold these ends in on it. They meet in the middle, and I'm going to stitch back and forth a few times. I'll go with a second stitch in a second. We're just holding this other end nice and flat right there. I'm going to meet these two ends up. And the last one is Joan Reed. You are the third winner. Make sure if you guys email us at tiffanysquiltinglife@yahoo.com tonight, then if you send us your email or your physical address, mailing address, it'll get shipped off tomorrow. All right, folding those ends in. I'm going to stitch back and forth a few times. And did I run out of bobbin thread? Oh, I did. Look at that. We need another one real quick. Real quickly, like. All right, before I do anything, I'm going to see how big this is, and then I'll seal everything up. This should now be the correct size. So I guess it is 2 pieces. It looks the correct size. I guess it's 2 pieces, the same size as, oops, I got to take my hair clip off to put this on. Oh yeah, perfect.
That works.
Yeah, so it's 2 pieces the same size as the original to create this hook together one. That worked out. Look at that. Let me tie my hair back up. Yeah, and plug it back in real quick. Oh, yeah. All right, so I'm gonna put this on my head so that you guys can see how this last one turned out after. I gotta stitch that sealed real quick though, and then cut off that excess. Let me just do a quick stitch on here on both ends. Cut away the excess. There they are, way over there. So I'm gonna cut right up to the stitching, but not the stitching, just so it gives it a nice clean cut on that edge. And then we'll repeat on this side. That way there's no raw edges hanging out. All right, so the folded it into itself one, like 2 pieces that are 17.5 by whatever. These make, I got a lot of hair to get it on here correctly. Pull it from the center. And there, that's what this one does. So it gives you like a cute little whatever. So you could put like 2 different color fabrics on it if you wanted. I mean, that would be cute. So there's that. And then the other kinds are these. And then obviously the bandana style ones. We'll just put it on my head so you could see. So that's how the bandana style ones fit perfectly, like that. It's not moving on my head. I'm moving around. So they should fit your head, whoever gets these. So 2 people will get these 3, and then 1 person will get this one, the kid one, this one, and the little tiny baby head one, because this will fit on a baby's head. A newborn baby's head, or a dog's neck, whatever. It's up to you. You'll get 4 because this was a boo-boo. So there we have it. So the 3 of you, I don't know what you'll get, those winners that we named off, but you'll get something. And you'll be matchy with me because I have my own, which I've already thrown somewhere in here. I don't know where. All right. Well, I managed to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 headbands. That's good, right?
Yep.
9 headbands in 2 hours. So they go quick. I mean, if you need a quick gift and you just want to make one because your grandkid's coming and you want to match their outfit, go grab a fat quarter and sew one together. They're really easy. And then if you have stretch fabric and you want to make the stretchy kind so that you can change with every outfit, you can make one with all the colors of stretch fabric you possibly have, or my idea from the beginning where you want to turn your stretch pants into stretch shorts because it's summertime. You just, if you have a serger and you want to do that, take those bottom pieces and you'll have your matching headband to go to the gym or whatever. Or if your, granddaughters or daughters go to the gym and, want matching stuff, you can make it. So there that is. And then elastic, you need elastic for these kind. So that's about it. That's all I got. Any questions before I get off of here? Okay, well, just remember to measure your head. I had a 21.5-inch head, so I made my headband for the stretchy kind 3 inches smaller because this really stretches. So 3 inches smaller, which mine was 17.5. And then I used that same 17.5, which was my total head number, as my big number for this part, for the big part. And then you can make however wide you want them. And then again, these part right here where the elastic is hidden in, you can make those whatever size you want as well. That just is usually about 8.5 inches. So 17.5 and 8.5, typical for my size head. Just remember you're 3 inches smaller plus your whatever, and then your elastic is usually about 6 inches. So, and if you have a bigger head, then go to 6.5 or 7. And you can adjust them as you go and just keep trimming it as, you know what I mean? Because it's foldable. So you can make it supersized and then taper it down to the size you need it. So it's very easy. All righty. Well, that's it. No questions? All right. Well, thank you guys all for hanging out while we did headbands. Again, I'm learning. You're learning with me. We had fun, right?
How wide was your elastic?
My elastic, well, the first few were 1/4 inch elastic. That last one, this one had 3/8 elastic in it. So, because I have a drawer filled with elastic. So I just pulled elastic from it. So, yeah. All right. Thank you guys for hanging out. And don't forget to like, subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you this week on Thursday. And there'll be a video someday this week as well. So, bye, everybody. Bye. 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 Bye.